This is a quick guide for Discipline Priest for both Mythic Plus and Raiding in the War Within. Starting off then, the way that we're going to heal as a Discipline Priest is with Atonement. Basically, certain heals we use are actually going to apply Atonement to our allies, meaning when we do damage to our enemies, our allies get healed. So how are we going to do that? Well, starting off in Raiding, the way Raiding works is we're going to be ramping up. Imagine the boss is going to do a huge amount of damage soon, let's say in 10 seconds. We want to ramp up all of the atonements over the raid and then start doing damage when the damage comes in, so we can then mirror back that healing onto our allies. So we're going to keep up this spell here, Purge of the Wicked, which is going to be a damage over time on our target. We can then use Power Word Shield to shield them, and these are all going to apply Atonement. Then use Rapture. This is going to make Power Word Shield have no cooldown for a few seconds, and it's a few stacks. So we can get out a few Power Word Shields, then get out a Flash Heal or two, and then use both stacks of Power Word Radiance, which is going to get 5 atonements out at a time, and then extend them all. That's Evangelism. Evangelism will extend all of your active atonements by 6 seconds. To get Purge of the Wicked on your target, and then we know in about sort of 10 seconds or so, 5 seconds, the boss is going to do huge damage. So use your Power Word Shield, use Rapture so that we can use a few more Power Word Shields, get a few quick flash heals out, and then use both charges of Power Word Radiance. By that point, you've got loads of atonements out. Then we can start doing damage. Mind Blast is the top priority as it sends out this Entropic Rift. This is from the hero talents. And it's also going to increase damage done to the target. We're then going to use Penance. Then we're going to use Shadow Word Death, both of these on cooldown. Use your Halo on cooldown, and use Smite as a filler. Also use your Void Wraith on cooldown as well, which will turn some of your spells into a Void version. And so this part is how we're doing damage, and this part is how we're ramping up atonements to mirror back as healing. A few other cooldowns we have are Power Word Barrier. You can cast this and everyone standing in it will take reduced damage, and Pain Suppression will reduce damage on one person by 40%. So again, we're ramping up with putting on Purge the Wicked and keep it up. Use Power Word Shield, and then use Rapture so that we can use a few more Power Word Shields. Like this, see, the cooldown's gone, so I can use 1, 2, and 3, and 4 more Power Word Shields. I'm going to get out a quick Flash Heal, and then 2 stacks of Radiance, which is 5 atonements each, and I'd extend them all with Evangelism. So we've got loads of atonements out for a long time. Then let's start doing damage. Mind Blast will send out a big rift, and it'll also increase how much damage we do. Then we're going to use Penance, Shadow Word Death, Void Blast, which is sometimes turned in from our Smite, and we're also going to use Halo, etc. on cooldown to do all of our damage on our enemy, and therefore healing everyone with Atonement. And that is pretty much it, how we're going to do that. Voidweaver is the main hero talent we'll be using in both Mythic Plus and Raiding, which is where your Mind Blast opens up that Entropic Rift. Your Smite is then going to be turned into Void Blast, and each time Penance damages or heals, Entropic Rift is empowered, increasing its size and damage. When it collapses, it will do a huge amount of shadow damage as well to all enemies nearby. We've got a few important talents I want to look at, and then we're going to look at how we're going to look into playing in Mythic Plus. Mind Blast, again, I've already mentioned, increases spell damage done to the target. Pain Suppression gains another charge, and Power Word Shield reduces the cooldown on Pain Suppression. So you can see here, very slightly, when I use Power Word Shield, my Pain Suppression cooldown is reduced a little bit. We've got Shadow Covenant, which is basically when you use this Void Wraith, your other spells are turned into the shadowy kind of versions of themselves. That's where this talent comes from. And then we have this one here, Power Word Radiance. So this one where it's putting Atonement on about 5 people. And when you use that, it causes your next Penance to fire 2 additional bolts, stacking up to 2 times. We also have Train of Thought, where Flash Heal and Renew, they're going to reduce the cooldown of Power Word Shield by a second. So if you do use Flash Heal, you can see here, it's going to reduce the cooldown of your Power Word Shield as well slightly. Just something to note on that one. Now let's move over into the Mythic Plus. You can see it's very similar talents. We're only changing a few small ones. Mainly, we don't have to do a huge ramp up because there's only 5 of us, not like 20. Meaning you can still keep up your Purge of the Wicked, get a few Power Word Shields out, maybe using Rapture, that's fine. But again, there's only 5 people. You can use Flash Heal if there's no enemies to do damage through. And if the whole group's taking damage, you can immediately get 5 atonements out with Power Word Radiance. So it's like a very, very easy, if you can even call it, a ramp up in Mythic Plus. And then the damage is pretty much the same. Do Mind Blast, do Penance, use your power, Death, Halo, and Void Blast pretty much on cooldown with your Void Wraith. And that pretty much is it for the quick guide on how to play Discipline Priest in the War Within. Now, if you are looking for a really in-depth guide, I've pinned in the comments and put in the description my full-on in-depth Discipline Priest guide on my other channel. You can also join Patreon, where you're going to get loads of macros, which I'm putting on there for each spec. You're also going to get LVI profiles, and you're going to access a VIP channel in Discord where you can ask for any help with your rotation. If you are looking for other quick guides, click this playlist here. And if, of course, if you're looking for long guides, click the link that I've put in the pinned comment and description.